This is the part 3 of beam insertion on Orion 18 software. In our previous tutorial, I inserted all the beam at the first floor, at the story 1 level, the first floor plan. Let me minimize all this. As you can see, story 1, under story 1, I have my columns. I know I specify columns and walls. These are the labels. I can select each of these labels from each of my columns from the structural tree view here. And see, I'm selecting this 1C8 is selected now. I want to select this column here. I think it's 1C. Okay, this is for the column. We also have for the walls too. So I want to select this. I can 1C1, 1CW1. Denote the label for this column. We've inserted the beam, and the objective of this tutorial actually to lower the beam at the staircase region. I will show you the 3D view of what we have done thus far. This is the 3D view. As we are inserting our beam on the first floor, Orion 18 is replicating it at other floors for us. I will show you how you will edit this beam information for other floors in our in subsequent tutorial. For our objective of this tutorial now, this beam here selected, the beam selected, we want to lower it down to support our staircase landing, our staircase element. We want to lower this beam too. All this beam I'm selecting, I want to lower it downwards. I don't want it to be at the level of the story. I will lower it downward. I will show you how you are going to do that. All this beam here, even at this region, this beam here, the beam, all this beam here, this beam here, this beam here, I'm going to lower it down. So we'll start from the quarter turn staircase on our left hand side. The beams, I'm going to show you how you are going to lower it on Orion 18 software. So let's start with the beam along the line D, this beam, this 230 by 450 beam. We'll go to my AutoCAD and we'll check our first floor GA. Here we don't have information about the elevation of this beam, which is very bad, but we can get the elevation of this beam from our section drawing. That's why it's good to have planned. That's why it's good for you to have planned your general arrangement for your staircase before you start carrying out analysis in any software. So you know the position of all your elements. This is what I have currently on Orion 18. Let me use the rectangular tool to draw a rectangle. Sorry. I'll draw a rectangle D 230 by 450. This is what I currently have on Orion 18 software. And this coming. Sorry, I will remove the auto command, making it difficult for me to draw. Coming. I will draw a line, I will extend it outwards. I'll use this in the intersection points to position my beam. So on Orion 18, A, B, C, wow. This is our half-turn staircase. This is our half-turn staircase. I'm actually working on the quarter-turn staircase. Okay, so I'm not working on this. I will move this beam. Let's go to our half-turn staircase, our quarter-turn staircase. I'll draw a line, I will extend it outward. I'll position my beam at this point. On Orion 18, this is what we have. Our beam along the line D is located at this level. However, we have two beams along this along this grid. We have a beam here. Let me copy it. We have a beam that supports this landing. Yeah. We also have a beam that supports the landing for the third flight. So this beam supports this first flight. Why this beam here supports the third flight? Again, this beam here supports the first flight. Why this beam here at the top supports the third flight? So it means that we have to insert. Okay, no, I only position one beam there. I'm not positioning two beams because it's not economical. It's not wise. I will select this and I will delete it. Remember, I told you that we'll place a beam here, and what we do, we'll build a block wall on the beam, and And our third flight, the landing, will sit on the block wall. That's what I told you when we were drawing this general arrangement drawing. So our beam, this is our beam. We want to lower this the beam from this position to this level. So what you are going to do, you are going to use a measure command, and you measure the drop from the top of this beam here to the top of the beam where you want it. So if you check it, this is 2170. That means I have to drop my beam 2170. So I'm going to do that now. I'll delete this because I was just using it to explain something to you. So 2170, I'll drop that beam down. So I'm going to minimize my AutoCAD now. I have that beam selected and I want to lower it. Before I lower it, I will duplicate my screen into plan view and 3D view. I'll click on the window, type vertical, plan and 3D view. So you can see I have the beam selected on my plan view and also selected on my 3D view. If I right click now and click on property, I should go to the 3D tab. I can lower the beam by the 2170 by lowering both the I and the J value. So because I'm lowering the beam down, I'll use a negative value. If I was raising the beam up, I'll use a positive value. So I'll enter 12170 as shown on the AutoCAD drawing. Enter 12170. Look at what happens when I click on update. You will see the beam drop down. You see, the beam dropped down on the 3D view. Yeah. So we have positioned the beam along the line D now. Now I will close this beam property dialog box. I will change back to plan view only. For this beam here, the beam along the line 2 for the staircase, the beam at 2C to D, the selected beam. I want to also lower the beam, but let's go to AutoCAD to know how far we plan to lower it. This is the beam as shown along the line D, which I just lowered. In the other direction, this blue line represents the beam at the line 2. This drawing now will make sense to you. This blue line, the blue line represents the beam at the line 2, and as you can see, it's at the same elevation with this beam. You can see they are together. Yeah? So the elevation 2 is 2170. So I'm going to drop this beam to the beam which on our 18 software now is currently at the top level, at the top level, that is along this line. That's where the beam is currently at. So I'm going to drop it down by using my measure command. Okay, from here, I see that this is 2170. So I'll drop it down 2170. So the beam is selected. I will use the type vertical button there to show you my two views. So I have the beam selected on my plan view, and it's also selected on my 3D view. So if I should click now, click on property, I go to 3D tab and change the 217, and I change the value to 217. I want it to be negative. I'm not raising the beam up. Minus 2170. So I will update to lower the beam. Note that when I click on update, the beam will drop down from the story 1 elevation that dropped. So you should note that. Now for this beam along the line 1, let me go to my plan view only again. For this selected beam, it's also a staircase beam. I want to lower it down, but I don't know by what amount. I'll check that amount on AutoCAD. That amount, that beam is represented by this blue line. So I will check that amount. I'll draw a line. So this line represents the level of my first floor. I will use the measure command in the center of this line to the top of the beam. This is 1550. So I'll drop the beam 1550 from the normal elevation. So it's already selected. I can also click on the plan and 3D view here instead of doing it on the window. So I'll do that here. Plan and 3D view. I have this beam selected and I want to lower it down 1550. So it's selected now. So I will click on my plan view, property, the 3D view, 3D tab. I'll change it to minus 1550. Same thing, 155, sorry, 1550. I'll drop it down. It has been dropped down. So I think I will call it a day for this tutorial. On our next tutorial, I'm going to drop the level of the staircase beam on the right hand side. That's for my after staircase. Thank you for watching this video.